Hey guys, welcome to the Digital Difference Maker YouTube channel. My name is David, and today what we're going to be talking about is how to get a job or even get in the industry of digital marketing in 2022. Let's do it. All right, so you may have heard of digital marketing these days. Social media, Facebook, Google, it's everywhere. It's upon us. So many things are changing. So many things are uncertain. But one thing is for certain, digital marketing, and over the past few years especially, is such a hot industry to get into. Whether you want to serve clients, whether you want to build a brand, whether you want to get in with a major company to help them implore a better cause, the way that we spread information is through computers and especially these things. So how do we do this, and how can you get involved, especially if you don't have any experience, if you're trying to reinvent your situation? Well, this video is going to give you some insight and help you out. Why would I be knowledgeable to talk about this? Well, I've been in this space for a couple of years, under 10 years now, especially within the last 2010 plus, with exploring a couple of entrepreneurial activities, and then getting into the agency space and rising the ranks through the agency space to handle clients, fulfill services, create ad strategies that work, and win new business to the impact where a lot of the day-to-day operations and sales I've been involved in. So that's why I want to be able to give some of this value to you, because I've been on the other side. I've been on the other side not only to get into the digital marketing space, but also I've been on the side where I'm talking to people that want to get employed, that want to have a job with the agency, with the company, to be just involved in the overall industry. So without further ado, let's just dive right into it. What we're going to talk about is 4 components in this video. One of them is going to be hard skills, so like the actual technical skills that you will need. Now, you don't have to be some master in all this right off the bat, and that's the key. So the hard skills is number 1. Soft skills is number 2. So that's how you interact with people, your emotional intelligence, so on and so forth. Number 3 is adaptability versus ability, because there is a difference. And number 4 is the X factor. It's the overall X factor to jump the line, if you will, to just pretty much cut everyone in line to getting to where you want to be, especially within the industry. So let's get into it now. Number 1 is hard skills. So what do I mean by hard skills? Well, digital marketing is, digital. So computer savviness is necessary. You need to be able to be quick on the computer. You don't have to necessarily be the quickest navigator, although it does help. If you can fly through applications, if you're familiar with Microsoft Office, if you're, you know how to send emails and rather quickly, if you know how to, a little technical hacks, if you've worked with project management systems in the past before, that's going to help you. If you haven't done anything like that, well, you need to start there. Microsoft Office, definitely. Familiarize yourself with Google and the abundant resources that Google has: Google Excel or Google Sheets, Google Docs, Google Slides. If you really want to get fancy, Google Data Studio. Familiarize yourself, because it's all free. And if you don't know about this stuff, that's okay. There's plenty of courses on YouTube. There's courses on LinkedIn, LinkedIn Learning, formerly lynda.com, to learn about project management, to learn about Microsoft Office, to get computer and technology savvy. You have to be. It's a must. The better that you can navigate, the better you're going to rise through the ranks. I've onboarded people on my team in many different positions, and the ones that really stick out are the ones that can navigate quickly and pull things up really fast and juggle a few different interfaces at once. You have to be comfortable within the interface. You have to be also willing to learn, because interfaces update all the time. Google Ads, for example, is always throwing new things in there. They're updating their overall interface look. They're updating where things are. The campaign types are new. I mean, you have to, I mean, that's just software these days. You have to be able to learn really quickly, especially from a digital interface. So, of course, this is preferential for the younger generation, millennials, Gen Z. But that's not to say that, different generations can't learn these skills too. They definitely can. But hard skills, you have to be quick with interfaces. I actually noticed that people that play video games, since they have fast reflexes, they do better too, because it's a technological space. Now, if you're going into development and you're going into coding, you're going to need to know a little bit more than what I'm talking about now. You're going to need to know basic logic. You're going to need to know, certain language, and how you determine that is exactly what you want to do. So, like, for example, I'm not going to get into a complete spiel about development and coding, but for example, if you wanted to design websites, you need to be familiar with HTML and CSS. If you wanted to completely build architecture of not only websites but also systems, Java, Python, and a bunch of other languages would help a lot too. So hard skills definitely make a difference. Also with hard skills, if you have a balance of creative plus analytical, that works really well. Because digital marketing is still marketing. There's creative, there's ad copy, there's things to get people's attention, but you also have to be able to measure. That's something more so new in the last 20 years or so, especially with the evolution of technology. You have to be able to measure your results. And the more you can look at data, and not only look at data, but make data validate data, that's going to help you as well. So to go along with hard skills and to wrap up hard skills, a combination of creative, understanding and being a little bit artistic, understanding how colors come together, maybe some typography, the creative balance, along with the analytical skills and balance. That will serve you really, really well in digital marketing. Okay, so that summarizes hard skills, at least the basics. So now let's get into soft skills, okay? We've all heard this term, soft skills. We have to be good with people, we have to be respectful, make good eye contact, all that jazz. But how can we sum that up? How I like to sum it up, and what I look for in every single person that we interview, is I look for what I call the 3 I's. And I didn't make this up. I wish I did. I got it from Warren Buffett. So the 3 I's would be initiative, intelligence, and integrity. Those are the 3 I's. So let me explain each one. I number 1, initiative. Someone that, this isn't necessarily a hard skill. This is more of a character. Someone that will do something that progresses the company or the project further without someone else, like a superior, having to ask. When someone takes initiative on something, it's like everybody's trying to paddle the boat upstream, and we're zigging this way and we're zigging that way. Someone that takes initiative can help find where the holes are and fill in the holes and accelerate and give good ideas to promote authenticity, new strategies, so on and so forth. So how do we contextualize initiative? The overall definition is someone taking action without having to be babysat. Now, you want to not just take any action, you want to take the right action. So how do you know what the right action is? Well, that's where the second I comes in for intelligence. So in order to work in digital marketing in any real industry at all, you need a specific level of intelligence, of IQ. Now, that's not to say you have to score your perfect SAT, your perfect ACT, or be in the top 1% of the world. You don't have to. You have to be at a point where you're good enough. You have to be good enough. You don't have to be the absolute dominant as far as trying to understand everything and trying to understand all the little strategies and being the best at math. That's not what intelligence means. Intelligence really means being able to identify the areas of opportunity where you can excel, where you can help a team member excel, and that can be in a lot of different areas. So let me give an example. Someone that is on my team showed her intelligence by creating a report that we didn't even know we needed. It was actually a combination of an initiative and intelligence. Okay, she created a social media report that we didn't even know we needed, because it analyzed previous trends as far as leads, click, and video data that really helped us strategize how we can perform better for our clients. And we didn't have to ask her for it. She just did it. That's the initiative. But the report was done correctly. It was done correctly in the right headspace to bring about like a new insight that even gave to me and gave to the client. So that's the intelligence part. Now, the third I is integrity. So you can do the action, you can be smart enough to do the action, but the third I is very, very important, and that represents the quality of your work. How personal do you take the responsibility? How personal, and taking things personal has a negative context, but it can also have a very empowering context. It's a balance. I take my work pretty personally. If something isn't quite right, I want to make it right just because that's what I want. If it were me and it were my product, I want it to be done the right way. Now, you have to find a balance with that, because otherwise, if you want everything perfect and you're a perfectionist, that's going to be tough. Nothing in this life is pretty perfect. Things are good, but nothing is perfect. So balancing that as well, finding that even balance, like, okay, we've done all this, we've done all that. All right, that's good. Let's move it to the next level. So that's the integrity. Do you give it your all? Do you give it everything, your best effort, truly? Do you recognize some of your downfalls and try and make that better? That's where the integrity part comes down. Did you not take any shortcuts? Did you do it the right way? That makes a big difference. So those are the three I's: initiative, intelligence, and integrity. And to bring it back, that third I, to bring it back to the contextual example in the report that one of my team members made, it was done correctly. It was very well laid out. There was thought behind it. The thought was like, not only should she be able to understand it, but the account executives and the clients are able to understand it easily. That makes a really big difference. So that's the contextual example of the three I's: initiative, intelligence, and integrity. That wraps up soft skills. So 2 more to go. Adaptability versus ability. And when we think about this, I actually favor consistent adaptability over initial ability. What does that mean? So maybe you don't have the ability, if you're entering this space, to do everything right away. Maybe you're not a PPC master. Maybe you don't know exactly how social media operates. Maybe you don't know organic versus paid. Maybe there's a bunch of things that you don't realize. That is okay. I don't necessarily look for someone to have the most experience in the platform. Some experience is necessary. I mean, hopefully you've opened up Google and you've opened up Facebook and you've used it before. You've used emails before. Yes, you need a basic knowledge, but you don't have to be the top tier. I more so look for people that can be quickly agile. that can adapt really quickly. If there's anything this last 2 years have taught us is we need to be super agile because we're uncertain of exactly what's going to happen next. Things are unpredictable when it comes to elections, people's health, the economy, supply chain, everything. So we need to be super aware of what's going on and be able to pivot and be able to position ourselves in a, position of strength. And we get that from being adaptable. Ability comes with time, but I favor more consistent adaptability versus initial ability to start. And of course, capacity to learn. I mean, that's a given. You have to be willing to learn. And then, okay, so the fourth and final thing, if you want to get into an industry, especially digital marketing or really any industry, this is applicable across life paths, you have to stand out. So what does that mean? How do you stand out amongst the rest? Maybe you're applying for, a social media advocate job. Or maybe you're applying for some social media specialist role at a company that you really revere and that you really want to get into. How can you do that? Well, part of the application process is usually a written resume. You have to write out a bunch of answers to questions, so on and so forth. If you really want it, though, think about the context of what you're applying for. You're applying to be a social media specialist or expert. Okay. Well, what's on social media if we think about Facebook, Instagram, TikTok? Aesthetic images and capturing videos. Make a video of yourself. Make a video of yourself presenting to someone why you should be the person to have that role. And the best would be if it's not required to make a video of yourself. That's going to immediately give a way for someone to meet you without having to meet you. You know what kind of time that saves about, how someone can learn about somebody and if they're right for a role, if they make a video like that. And trust me, you make a video about how the benefits of you and some of the qualities of the company that you're looking to get into, and just your overall synopsis, that is going to really stand out. I have not seen pretty much anyone do that. If someone were to do that and say, you know what, I really want this job, I'm going to make a video and I'm going to explain why I should have this job and why I'd be the perfect person for the company and why the company is the right fit for me. That's another thing. I don't always want to hear why you're the right fit for the company. I want to hear why the company's the right fit for you, because I'm aware that it's a two-way street. There's two ways here. It's a relationship. It's not just like, what are you guys going to do for me? Of course, we want to know the value that you're going to provide, but we also want to know where we fit in your life, because we don't want someone to just come on, use our resources, and then leave and go do something else. We want someone that the relationship is going to be valuable. That's where we have the best people on our team. So stand out. How can you stand out? What can you do? Can you make a video? Another great way to stand out is if you can create something that the company, that you believe or know that the company needs without them having to ask for it. Another great idea is write an action plan. As your social media specialist, here's what I would do in my first 30 days. If they don't ask that question and you provide that and you did it in a video format, oh my gosh, I'm going to be like, wow, this person had the thought process to set up an action plan. I'm game. Even if it's not altogether right, me as someone looking for talent, I'm going to go, wow, that person's got initiative, intelligence, integrity. She's proven that she has the skills to do exactly what needs to be done. I want to talk to her, or I want to talk to him. That would be great. So that last point, stand out. All right, to sum it all up, we talked about hard skills. We talked about soft skills, the 3 I's. We talked about consistent adaptability versus initial ability, and we talked about that X factor, how to stand out. Hopefully that helps you guys. Drop a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. If you enjoy this content and you found it valuable, please subscribe. If you didn't, that's okay. Maybe we'll win you on the next one. All right, guys. See you on the next video. Take care.